keep the truth to ourselves. Maybe we're hypnotized. This is life. I've been living. Shit's too serious, but I can't help but this. I've been living, but I can't help but with our eyes wide open, we won't miss a thing that you're doing. You better watch what you keep from us before it's too late to go back. Our economy is broken. We shouldn't have to kill ourselves to serve someone else. This is I've been living, but I can't help
Hello everybody, my name is Sky Command. We are going to get started in just a moment. I am running slightly behind, but don't worry, we got a good one cooking up for you guys today because we are taking our first IFR flight. Very excited to be bringing that to you guys, but I need a few seconds to get everything ready for you. This is going to be the stream that you were waiting for. Give me just a moment, folks. Let me know if you're here. Say hi.
feel my heart, it's beat tight. Oh, my body's breathing, it's just you and me. Feel my heart, it's beat tight. Oh, my body's breathing, it's just you and me. I'm so caught in this, we're so
All right, hello, everybody. Hello. Give me one more second. I will be right there, I promise. Just have to drop that spicy link into my Discord, which if you haven't joined, sounds like you messed up, bro. Give me a second here. Almost there. There we go. Cool. Let's get into it. Hello. What's up, Saz? I see you out here. How's it going? My name is Sky Command, everybody. I am a brand spanking new flight sim streamer here on Twitch and on YouTube. If you're new around here, make sure you drop a like and a subscription. It's all free, relatively speaking. Will I do an international flight soon? Yeah. Actually, we did one, and we're going to do another one. After this one, I think, right? We're going to do the Fuerteventura takeoff, and we're going to head somewhere to Liverpool. We're going to head from Fuerteventura to Liverpool. I just got to, Saza, you got to help me find the plates. But anyways, I am a gaming streamer here. I mostly do flight sim here on the channel, here on Twitch and on YouTube, but don't be surprised when I bring the BF GPU, the 3090, and I put that in my rig. Don't be surprised if you see Warzone make an appearance back on the channel. If you don't see any other, I might even just stream Crisis just to see how good it is. A 4-hour flight? Oh, that's very, very long. But I hope you guys are doing okay. I love to get to know my brand new viewers, and if you're just popping in, just say hello, say hi. I love to get to know you guys. Definitely, I have my chat set up right here to my left, and you can be featured right here, or you should be on the screen still. I can still see it. Also, let me know how I can improve my stream. Let me know if things are good or bad. Like yesterday, my stream didn't let me know that the game audio was off. Question mark. Anywho, got lots of fun stuff in store for you today because we are going to jump in the SR-22 and we're going to do our first IFR flight, and that does include planning. Yay! Very, very fun. So we're going to plan our trip here on SkyVector, and then we're going to throw it into the sim because I don't feel like programming it into the FMS. But the plan will be to go from Van Nuys down to Miramar using the Adam 3 departure, and it'll make much more sense when you can visually see it. We'll take the Adam 3 departure, then we'll go back over the water. Aw, guys. Saza, stop it. The words. He said, you can improve your stream by staying the same because you're the best. No. You're the best, Saza. But we'll go back over the water. We'll head down. We'll make a left. Head towards Julian, which is the fix for the ILS 24 left or right. It's one of those ILS approaches. I'll show you how to get that all set up using Flight Sim, and then we will jump into the SR-22 and do it for real. So give me just a second, of course. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going anywhere. I just need to make sure everything is set up. So what I'm going to do here is, because I need to focus, I'm going to let you guys have the music, but I can't. I need to turn it off for myself so that you guys can hear it, but I can focus. Okay, so you do see Flight Sim here, but now you see SkyVector here. You're not very fussy, my man. Cool. So you guys can see Flight Vector and all that stuff, right? I need to delete that for security purposes. All right. So everything is looking hunky-dory. All right. Let's us get into some planning mode. Give me a sec. Is he streaming yet? Yeah, I'm streaming. We are doing our little first IFR planning here. We're gonna plan our IFR. Oh, let's see. Oh, Saza, thank you for the usual host. I appreciate you. We are gonna depart from Kilo Victor Kilo November Yankee. That's our departure. And we're going to end up at, and yeah, you can see Van Nuys pop up right here in the center. You guys should be able to see my mouse. So there's Van Nuys right there. If it's gonna work at all. No, let's see here. There we go. So that's where you click on the airport and you can see all the runway information. You can see the diagram here. We'll pull that up actually. We'll pull it up in a new tab. But we're gonna go to Kilo November Kilo X-ray. So if we take a look at the route right now, right, it's just a straight shot. And in fact, we can pull up the flight plan. Right now, there's no route. It says about an hour, but we need to plan for our departures and our arrivals. So if we take a look at the Miramar Airport and we'll look at which runway we want, we're going to do the ILS 24 right. And let's take a look at this approach plate. So basically, as we come over the water, which is here, we need to make a left turn and head towards the Julian fix, right? And once we hit Julian, we're going to turn and head at a 212 course towards Rhino, and then we'll make another right turn at a course of 243 from Rhino to Jarmo to Homad to Tupac and all the way down to the runway. Localizer frequency is 111.15. The approach course is 243, as you can see here. And we need to be at the JLI, the Julian Vortac, at 8,000 feet. And usually ATC will vector us, keep us here. Actually, they'll actually keep us at around flight level 069 by the time we hit the JLI. And then it's just a glide slope. Excuse me. I think it's 200 feet per minute. At least I'm assuming that's. Oh, and the glide slope is 3 degrees. It's a 3-degree glide slope all the way in. And these are the altitudes that we need to remain above here. So at JLI, we need to remain above at 6,900. At Rhino, we need to remain at 4,700. Jarmo 38. Homad 3,000. And in the Garmin, you can actually, these will be preloaded, but honestly, you're just going to follow the glide slope. You'll see it on the MFD, and that'll make a lot more sense there. So this is our route today. Oh, I guess we could, let's see if we can put our departure in. Yeah, let's see if we can put our Adam 3. Let's see, Adam. Yeah, okay, so there's our Adam 3 departure. Then we actually need to take a, This plan doesn't match up with what FMS would do. Okay, well, we're going to do this in Flight Sim. I'm going to grab the approach plate here. That's the most important thing here. We're going to grab this approach plate. Let's make sure I have it. So that's what we just reviewed. And this is the thing that we need to do our thing. And actually, I will grab the Adam 3 departure as well. Let's just take a look at that. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the departure. Let's see. I don't know which one we're going to take off yet, but let's just assume we're going to take off. Yeah, Sky Vector is free. It is free. It's awesome. Let's assume we're going to take off 16 right. It's basically climb on a heading of 163 until you hit the VNY 2.2 DME, or you hit the where is this? Yeah, you basically take off until you're 2.5 away from this, then climb and make a left turn towards 113, and then they'll radar vectors out to the to our 45 right here. So basically we're going to fly out, make a left, and then join this right here, and then we'll be vectored out towards our route. So departures are really easy. It's the approach plates that make all the difference. So we'll get that ready to go here. So let's set up in Flight Sim. And let me bring my music back because I need vibes as well. Cool. So we're going to do the world map. We're going to jump into the SR-22. Let's fix our tail number. November Sky C. Looks like in sync. We are Sky 1. Is there a dash in between the November and the skies? I wonder. I don't think there's a dash. I think it's just November, then the numbers. Cool. Fuel will have plenty. Cool. So that's our bird. We are going to select our runway, which is Van Nuys, actually, and we are going to plan to take 16 right. So we're going to park right here at the ramp. We'll do cold and dark. So make sure all my switches are off, all my avionics are off. And we are going to go to Miramar. I can type in Miramar, or I can type in Kilo November Kilo X-ray. And we are going to plan for 2-4 right? Because of our ILS approach. 2-4 right. And we're planning that. Okay, so we'll check our flight conditions. We are going to do overcast, actually. So we're going to go to a preset, and we're going to go to overcast. So it should be pretty miserable along the way. Which one's worse? It's broken clouds. We want it to be an over... Wonder which one's worse. Because, yeah, it gets progressively worse here, right? So we'll go overcast. Yeah, so we'll go overcast. We'll have AI, but we're going to be by ourselves, right? We're not going to play with any real people. Yeah, preset, AI off. We did overcast. We're at Van Nuys. We're at the gate, and we're planning for runway 24 right. The only thing we need to change is we're not going direct, as you see the plan here, right? It just has us in a straight shot. It's not what we want to do. We're actually going to do a low altitude airway, IFR. So if we zoom into this plan, what we're going to do here, right out of Van Nuys, we're going to take the Adam departure to Albus, which is this point, or excuse me, to Adam, then to Albus, which is out over the water. And then we'll take this jetway here over to Redden. And then instead of going to Redden direct in, what we're going to do is we're going to change from, we're going to keep the direct arrival, and we're going to use the ILS 24 right approach. And you'll see how it changes. Instead of going directly to Miramar, we're now going to go at a heading of, I don't know what heading, but over to JLI, which is over here. Where's that? Interesting. Okay, anyway, JLI is like at the end of this turn. Yeah, why isn't it showing? What the heck? That's so weird. Anyways, we're going to turn here JLI, and that's our approach fix. And then this bearing right here is the 243, or excuse me, this is the 213, and this is the 243 approach. So, everything looks good to me so far. We're going to let that jam into the FMS, and we're going to hit fly. Is everybody ready? Everybody all clear on what we got to do? So if anyone joins the game and wants to know what we're flying, that's what we're flying. IFR flight, here we go. If you're just joining us, hello. I've got chat open. Everything is vibing here. I can see it all. Hope you're doing okay. So we're going to let that load. Isn't that unbelievable, though, that Sky Vector is free? Adam, thank you so much for the subscription, bud. Whoever you may be. So for the most part, I'm going to try and explain what I'm doing here, but, you know, we're really going to try to put some road on the show here. Another thing I should point out too is that I am not a real life pilot. A lot of this I figured out from watching my dad and watching a ton of YouTube videos and just trial and error. So please don't use this as an educational seminar, or don't assume that I'm a pilot that's like you know, I can just basically jump into an SR22. Okay, so I'm still learning. I'm sure there's checklists that I'm not using. Like, I'm sure there's a climb and a cruise checklist and a descent checklist and a final approach checklist that I'm not using, right? I'm just literally trying to get up to the cruise, use the autopilot, which we learned on stream a while ago, and figure out the ILS, which I think we have. So if we did figure out those things, that's me in chat, you and I, we can look at different approach plates around the world and fly to them with relative accuracy. So we'll let everything load in here a bit. And as you can see, she's cold and dark. Holy frame rate though. Okay, showing massive frame rate drops here. Just letting everything load in a bit. All right, cool. So we'll use the actual checklist here. So the parking brake is set because, you know, we're here. Parking brake set.
Parking brake.
We'll just flow through the checklists.
Bat. Master switches. On. Strobe lights.
Turn on our strobes here.
On.
I'm doing it on the switch.
Rich.
Mixture is full rich.
Power lever.
We'll do full forward.
Full forward.
Wish I had a throttle quadrant, but I did. Get the Bravo throttle quadrant. Let's boost or prime first.
Prime then boost. Power lever.
Bring this to about 17%.
Open 1/4 inch. Ignition.
Let's start her up. Clear. Clear.
Start. Power lever.
I'm going to let them auto-complete it because I don't have a good throttle. All right. Wait for that to finish doing its thing here. Go to oil pressure. Just waiting to get to 1,000 RPM. There we go.
Oil pressure. Check.
We checked the oil pressure.
ALT master switches.
ALTs are on. I turned them on just a moment ago.
Avionics master switch. On. Parking brake. Release.
So I'm on the brakes now. Put them back on. Okay, so that is starting the engine. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at our caution warnings, right? Or our warnings. There's no alerts, but the pitot heat is off, and we're going... I'm going to assume it's relatively cold with overcast. As you can see, it's pretty bad up there. So we're going to turn our pitot heat on. Turn on the nav lights and our landing lights since we're on the ground. I'm going to turn the inset off. Basically, I'm just going to set up the MFD or the PFD, sorry, right? This is the main or I actually don't know which one is the difference between the MFD and the PFD. Primary flight display is what I'm going off of. So primary or main display, right? It's the same thing. Anywho, so I turned the inset off just now. You can press inset and you can turn it off like that. We're going to change the CDI to GPS. So you just click it until it hits GPS because we're going to follow the GPS plan that we loaded in over here all the way till we get to our approach fix, and then we'll toggle over. And we can set all that stuff up using the nav radios in a moment. I'm going to turn our rotate speed on. Actually, before I do that, this is your references page here. Like that's you can turn on your timer and your references. Actually, I didn't mean to press that. What I meant to do is press PFD. I do like the wind. I like to know where the wind is coming from. Option 3 lets me know what degree and how fast. Our bearing, we're going to use GPS for now. You can just press it 3 times to get to GPS. The bearing 2, I'm actually going to put on nav 1, and once I grab Kilo November Kilo X-ray for the first time, I'll know that at least it's working, or nav 1 is working over here. But eventually I'll swap nav 1 over to here, and I'll use nav 2 as the actual runway localizer, because that'll give me information on how far away I am from the actual runway, or from the ground of the airport. Let's see. We'll worry about minimums later. Okay, I like how this is set up. We will stand by for the transponder. All of our lights are on, right? Navigation, taxi, landing beacon. Just leave them on for now. I forgot to check our flight plan to see how high we were going, but I'm going to assume it's 9,000. But let's grab weather first. When it becomes a suicide simulator is if you do what I'm doing and you have no idea what you're doing. Okay, so there's no ATIS, but I'm going to hit B for barrel just in case the altimeter is different. Let's get into clearance. We'll get our IFR clearance.
Clearance delivery, Sky 1 ready to copy IFR clearance to Miramar. Sky 1 is cleared to Miramar.
Yeah, 9,000 like I said.
Take off runway 16 right climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 135.05 squawk 0544.
What was it? 0544. Let's repeat that.
Sky 1 cleared to Miramar.
05.
Take off runway 16 right climb and maintain
44,
9,000 feet.
right? 0544. Back. We'll turn it on.
Sky 1 read back is correct.
Okay. Fix our altitude again. And this is why I'm buying the freaking radio panel, because like I keep misclicking and it's a problem. So we're gonna turn this up to 9,000. Don't you misclick. Don't you misclick. There we go. Oh. Okay, so there's 9,000. We'll contact ground because we are ready. We're actually, we're not supposed to touch this, so we're on the ground, but I'm gonna VS. We're gonna up to about 1,000 feet per minute. We'll turn flight director on so we know where we're going. All right. Oh, how am I controlling my POV? Using TrackIR. So if I hit F9, I can pause. You can see the camera right here. There's something on the top of my monitor that reads my inputs. That's how I'm able to move. And I can reset my sort of positioning by looking outside briefly. All right, cool. So we've got our CDI to GPS, right? We've got our transponder code, right? We've got our VS pre-put in. We've got our altitude. We've got the barometer, or the altimeter. Looks like our field director's having field day. It's good. We do have our approach plate right here, just in case we do need it. So that's good. I think that is it. I will just sync the heading. The course is set to the GPS. Nothing left but to do it to it, huh? Do we have our taxiing instructions? No, we don't. We'll contact ground and we'll get out of here.
Van Nuys ground, Sky 1 with Mike ready to taxi IFR.
Hope you guys enjoy the flight.
Sky 1 taxi to and hold short of runway 16 right using taxiway.
I'm gonna go sterile cockpit for a moment.
Tower on 119er when ready. Taxi to and hold short runway 16 right via taxiway Charlie Alpha Sky 1.
We're just gonna the guide takes way too long. Like this guy. I love the ground services. I love the ground services. I love the intention. I love the energy, but it's just I just can't. Alright, cool. I just wanted to make sure I was clear with him. Also, just zoom out just a touch here. Never mind that I'm ignoring taxiways. Don't worry about it. Nice and IFR today, some would say. Okay, so no flaps needed. We have GPS again, right? We're going to fly runway heading and then scoot on out of here just a touch. We will get with ATC in just a moment. All right, we'll get a little closer. Apply some brakes. It's good enough for me. Cool. Let's contact tower. We'll FO.
Van Nuys Tower Sky 1 ready for IFR departure runway 16 right. Sky 1 cleared for takeoff runway 16 right.
Okay. Take off for 16 right.
Takeoff runway 16 right, Sky 1.
Dude, you're gonna crash? Doubtful. Hey, what's up, Saza? We're just about to take off here, and I'm actually gonna try and hand fly the departure, at least up to 2,000 or 3,000 feet or so. We will take all of the runway as much as we can. A little bit of toe brake to help us turn. All right, heels to the floor, pedal to the metal, let's go! Why is my avionics not on? Hold on, aborting. Hold on. Something ain't right. My electrical systems. Oh, okay there. Very, very interesting. I'm glad I caught that. So we'll wait for our second Garmin to initialize here. Woo! An EMP! Okay, there we go. We're back. Oh, let's talk about it though? Seriously? The best time for it to happen? Alright, take two. That is the time to abort right there. We're gonna continue on here. Freaking terrifying. Holy hell. Doing this on stream and all this. Okay, we're gonna still assume that we have takeoff. He said, dude, you're gonna crash. I told you I wasn't gonna crash. I will make sure that we operate safely. Still gonna hand flyer. Okay, both displays are on. We're gonna go heels to the floor and send her. Full send. Lots of left rudder needed. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's a windy day, huh? Come on. Alright, we'll fly runway heading. It's pretty bumpy on the way up. It should help your fear of flying. It's fine. We're on course right now. We're a little shallow. It's fine.
Sky 1 contact SoCal departure.
All right, we'll contact departure and we'll get on out of here.
Going to 135 decimal.
Still hand flying. I don't have autopilot on yet, but we're just about to turn. There's 1500. We'll contact SoCal.
SoCal departure Sky 1 is climbing through 1,600 feet for 9,000 feet. Sky 1 SoCal departure continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
2992. Cool. Cool. We're done with ATC for the most part. We are to the left of the intended glide path here, but it's fine, right? Relatively on. There's 2,000. There we go. Not so bad. We're out. A little bit of trim. Yeah, everything's okay. We're out of here. So we will turn off our taxi and landing lights. There's 2600. We're doing just fine. Even though my frame rates are getting pooped on. And I think it's because I'm doing the window share versus the screen share. There's 3000. We're going to go ahead and turn on the autopilot. And we're going to hit nav. So it'll follow the GPS. There's the turn. There is the matching 1000 BPM. You notice we didn't really go that high, right, for the flight director because we had already VS'd. So now I'm going to let go of the control. I've let go of the control. So my flight plan is from Van Nuys to Miramar. Okay, so let's clean up here. Flaps are all the way up. We're on to our next waypoint, which is Adam. We're at D2 right now. We're going to sync up our heading bug. If we can, there we go. At least initially, I need to turn the topo off again. There we go. Here's our GPS, right? As we head up, there's Bob Hope Airport. The Hollywood Hills are below us to the right. LAX and Santa Monica are over there. Yeah, nice little short circuit. My first IFR flight. We're just about to head into the soup here. And it's a little bumpy. And just so you know, the autopilot in Flight Sim is just a little wonky. So it's not me as it tries to find its course, right? It's not me. It's actually just the GPS trying to reconcile with the engine. So you'll have to bear with me here. So we are going to turn on ice protection. The normal is in-op. Landing lights are off. We'll turn the navigation lights off. We'll leave the strobe on and beacon on. Turn on a little air. There we go. Cool. So we are descending at... Let me just make sure ATC is happy. Yep, ATC is happy. Cool. We're happy and swimming along. Flaps are up. We're climbing. And once we get to about 9,000, I'll reduce the power. We're going to climb at about 150 indicated airspeed. Ooh, you can see how muggy it is, right? And once we climb up into the soup, it'll be very, very apparent that... Here, let's zoom out so you guys can see here. That's zooming in. Come on. This mouse sensitivity is too much for me. So, we're heading towards Adam, like we talked about, right? That's the Adam departure. We have to inland, and then we'll head towards Albus, out towards the water. Then we'll have a nice little coast for a bit. Albus, out of the water to Redden, which is our final affix on our journey. And instead of going direct into Miramar, we have to go to Julian. And here's this soup that we're entering in right now. Let's take a look outside. Hey, there's my name, Sky C. And those lights right there, that's traffic. I think those are airplanes in the air right there, those dots. Cool. All going to plan. 2,000 to go. Perfect for IFR. Let's talk about it. Cool. So we're cruising. Hope you guys are having a great day. And if you're just checking us out, we just departed Van Nuys runway, and we are in the Adam 3 departure. And if you're in a jet, it would take you like 2 seconds, right? But because we're in a Cessna going only 124 knots, we are going 138 over the ground, and we're getting a nice little tailwind too. Don't worry about nav1. That's not what we're tuning into. Remember, that frequency is 111.15 right here. Here's our airport that we're going to go to. So again, right? So if I can just show you briefly. No, the weather is not like that today. That's a great question. It's actually very beautiful outside. I just wanted to simulate weather so that we can actually have a reason to fly IFR. I mean, we could, believe it or not, the game is so good that we could cheat. We could look off the ground and I know basically where we are. And like you could see the runway from very, very far away. So to simulate IFR, we really wanted to just make it be the soup. And as you can see, we are in the soup. We have no... Oh, those are runways actually, huh? No, those are aircraft. So we have no way to tell where we are based on the ground. We really have to rely on our instruments. We really have to be confident that our GPS is going to navigate us to Adam, to Albus, and so on. So speaking of this, right? So you guys see JLI right here, this fix right here? That is this fix right here. Those two are one and the same. So we're going to arrive over the water, right? About here, which is Redden, and we're going to turn in and fix towards Julian. Once we hit Julian, we're going to curve in, make a right turn, and hit Julian over the top and head towards Rhino, or excuse me, Ekvor, this VOR right here at a bearing of 212. We head at this bearing from 202. Oh, we're over the clouds. There we go. Made it through the soup and I missed it. So we'll do the departure briefing a little bit later. We are at altitude. I'm going to draw back the power to about 60%. We're going to aim for about 145 on the speed dial here. So you can see traffic over here. Checking in, make sure ATC. Altimeter 29902, that matches. We'll make sure that our heading is synced up. Which is synced up. Can I make it before Sunday? You have school Monday? Yeah, of course. Sounds good. So apparently that's San Gabriel Valley. I wish I could tell you. So I found about 66% on the power rating. And then because we're high, we need to lean out the mixture. To be honest as well, I did turn on auto mixture settings because that's something I forget way too often. But anyways, you want to keep the RPM at about 2,500, right? And keep the power back. So looking for about 145. We're about there. Especially with this headwind that we're getting right now. So we're doing about 164 over the ground, and if it's bumpy at all, then I need to walk it back down to about 150 true airspeed. So we're in the soup now. And sorry in advance, chat, the frame rate is going to suffer. It's because I've got the full window capturing, and I can drop in the approach plate at any given moment. So normally it would be a little bit smoother, but I'm doing this for science. And usually if this was real, or if ATC was smart and there wasn't a lot of traffic, right, I'd probably go like direct Julian, right? But I really wanted to make this a flight to show you guys. Hey Saza, make sure you take care of your sleep, my man. You have to take care of yourself. It is beautiful up here though. We're gonna take a look outside in just a moment. Let me pause TrackIR. So, while we have autopilot on, and I am now just monitoring the flight, let me know how you're doing. I know you're tired, Saza. Everett, the weather does not look like this outside. And if you're new here, please drop a like, drop a sub, share the link. The only way we can grow is if you grow with me. Oh, it looks like the stewardess has come by with an in-flight beverage. Let's see what it looks like. Sorry, just gonna walk down throttles just a touch. We're getting some nice tailwind. Oh, it's a glass of red wine. Absolutely. Now, I do not advise that you fly and drink in real life or even simming, right? But I'm streaming with you guys and it's a vibe, so I do what I want. Do not, this is a as I say, not as I do moment, okay?
Los Angeles Center on
123.85 for Sky 1.
132.85 Sky 1. Airbus 90 Romeo climb and maintain flight level 230. Los Angeles Center, Sky 1 9,000 feet. Sky 1 Los Angeles Center, continue to Adam as planned. Altimeter 29.
You see that jetliner just cruising by us, like making us look saucy? Just what any growing pilot needs.
Flight level 230, Airbus 90 Romeo.
I do have traffic around us as well, so you're going to hear ATC, just to make it a little bit more real, right? We're not by ourselves out here. I'm going to turn TrackIR back on. Let's take a look outside while we sip some wine. Don't forget to tip the flight crew. Absolutely. Guys, it is awful, okay? We can't see shit. This is an IFR flight. For real. That wasn't for me. But as you can see, we're just in and out of the clouds. Flaps are fully up. We don't have to worry about gear. Okay, here's our turn in about 3.3 nautical miles. So we've got... So I'm just looking to make sure I don't miss any radio calls. So we're at D2. We're heading towards...
Generic November 08853 is at 800 feet, climbing 12,000 feet. Generic November 08853 Los Angeles.
We're just
Center,
cruising.
continue as
We're good.
planned.
So we're heading towards Adam, and we're 2.2 nautical miles away from Adam, and we're at a bearing of a 901, and that matches up with our course, right? And our heading. Now you'll notice that our heading and our course do not align.
And maintain flight level 280.
Why is that? Does anyone know? Why doesn't our heading and our course align? Anywho, in about a nautical mile, we're going to turn a right towards Albus. Oh, never mind. We're going to do it now. Just going to follow this, try to meet this line here. I wonder how to decrease the bank angle too, because once you're up here, you probably want to keep it to like a nice, easy 10, 20 degrees, especially in this soup.
Generic 853, please expedite your climb to 12,000 feet.
So we'll let this thing do its thing here. We'll let it find the Jesus. We'll let it find the path.
Contact Los Angeles Center on 125.8.
I need to disable TrackIR so I can drink. Here we go.
Going to 125.8 Airbus 85 Tango. Generic 853, contact Los Angeles Center on 125.8.
So there's nothing going on, right? It's all soup outside. We're trying to intercept this course again, right? So which is why the plane is going to bank to try to meet this. Let's zoom back in.
Generic 853.
Now that you guys know what the plan is, right? We're trying to intercept this line. We're going to head out back over the water. That matches this over here. So I am going to sync our heading. Oh, you can actually do it on both sides. That's cool. Once we're done turning, I'm going to sync our heading.
Los Angeles Center landmark 485.
So guys, I'm curious, what do you think of the IFR flight so far?
For 17,000 feet. Landmark 4851 Los Angeles Center, continue.
Turn TrackIR back on.
Altimeter 29.902. Los Angeles Center landmark 8804 is at 12,900 feet, descending 10,000 feet.
Gorgeous.
Landmark 8804 Los Angeles.
Little adjustments there.
Call as planned.
Let's make sure our heading is synced.
29.902.
Yes, spasm. Very, very, very astute observation. Right? So, once we sort of get lined up, which we are, the question was, Whoops, let me kill flight plan. That was
Los
a
Angeles
misclick.
Center, generic November 0.
Make sure ATC's happy.
5,800 feet.
Cool.
4,000 feet. Generic November
So,
0288 X-ray.
we have a true course over the ground of 195, but we're heading at 204. And that's because, look at the wind. Look at the wind. It is blowing us at 8 knots in this direction right here. So we need to compensate. And you'll notice that if you subtract 195 from 204, you roughly get about 8 or 9, right? And that sort of matches up, right? And what the other element or degree is, right, is probably the degree of wind that accounts for that. So that is why when we face a certain direction over the ground, we compensate for the wind to end up with a true course. That is like the true course, by the way, is if we were to draw a line, or if we were to take a stick from the top of our cockpit all straight down to the ground and draw a line with the plane. That is what this magenta line is. That is our true course over the ground. Of course, we're not facing that direction, and we're generally not heading in that direction, but that is our true course as a result of the wind and the altitude. So that's a little bit about how this works, and of course this is the compass, right, to let you know that we're generally heading south, right? 196 is generally in the southerly direction, and that's backed up with this map here, right? We're heading south. This is what oh my god, if I keep misclicking.
Los Angeles Center, Airbus November.
Right, this is Southern California into Mexico. That is the Mexico border right there, and that is the San Diego International Airport.
As planned.
Sky Command Ground School. Oh my god, I can't even talk. I'm just so excited that this is working, albeit my frame rates.
804 contact Los Angeles.
My frame rates are taking a poop. Frame rates, Jesus. My frame rates are taking a poop, and I can barely speak. But yeah, Spasm, you're absolutely right. That's exactly why. So, it'll be another 30 minutes before we head over to Albus. And I guess I should have made a shorter flight, but
Maintain flight level 290.
I don't know. This is the circuit that I've been practicing for you guys, so I guess I'll choose a shorter one. I guess I could have, like, gone, you know, here or here, and I can look up those approach plates, right? But I'd rather just knock out the one that I practiced for you guys, nail it, and then we'll go somewhere else. In fact, we've got to go from Fuerteventura to Liverpool in a jet. And chat, I tried to jump in a jet. It was not pretty. But look at the layer of the clouds. And so the equipment's not out of sync, Spasm. I just saw the rest of it. There's no real, I mean, the instruments are perfectly calibrated because of the sim. Maybe that could be a concern, but not right now. We can assume that all the equipment's, due to the fact that I turned failures off, right, that the equipment is functioning perfectly, as perfect as it ever will function. So it is a result of the wind difference and the wind pushing us. Get a faster aircraft and fly to Pocatello? I'm down.
Los Angeles Center, Airbus November 53089, flight level 330. Airbus November.
Bajilka, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate you.
as planned.
Hope you're vibing and having a good day. Let me know how you are doing. Yeah, no, I turned failures off. Could you imagine the balls I would have? Like, oh, let's turn on failures too on my first IFR flight on stream. Could you imagine? The bulls. The bulls.
Center on 125.8.
Sorry. Doing off-camera things as well. Which is cool. That's why I like TrackIR, because I could...
07 Bravo.
So I can, like, look around and do things, too. I think I just missed a radio call. I do not. What's up, Vajilka? How's it going? Hope you are absolutely vibing. Happy Thursday. We are IFR flight out of Van Nuys to Miramar, which is a military base, actually. There's not much there in the way. It's just a long-ass runway. But I figured I'd just do an IFR flight that I was practicing for you guys, just to show you how it all works. Chat, I did the thing I forgot to eat before I started streaming. If that's the that would be the one advice I have for streamers is like, what advice do you have like starting out? Make sure you freaking eat before you stream, because we're gonna be up here in the air for like another hour. Also, can someone tell me what hey, the Joker, what's up, my man? Can someone tell me what Kilo Sierra November Alpha is? What airport is this? Oh wait, we can look ourselves. It's Santa Ana Airport. Cool. So yeah, if you need to know what airports you are, or if you need to know what's nearby, right? Instead of asking your chat while you're streaming your SR22, you can hit what's called, this is November Romeo Sierra Tango, which is nearest. If you hit nearest, that'll tell you what the nearest airports are, right? So we have KLGB, we have KSLI, and KSNA, which we were looking at, right? So we went to Kilo Sierra November Alpha, hit enter, and it told us where it was. It was John Wayne Airport.
Sky 1 contact Los Angeles Center on 134.575.
134.575 for Sky 1. Was it 575? Yeah, it was. And I'm getting in the habit of saying it first before I acknowledge the handoff and do it here, because I have a radio panel that's coming in stream, and I'll be able to dial in these frequencies myself. So I will manually dial in to 134.575 and contact Los Angeles Center myself if it's going to work.
Generic 35 November descend and maintain 2,800 feet.
Come on, Los Angeles Center, Sky 1.
Sky 1 Los Angeles Center, continue to Elvis as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
So altimeter is still the same, but we'll hit barrel just in case. We're
2,800 feet, generic 35 November.
We're gonna sync up our heading just to make sure we haven't drifted. And we are 2 nautical miles thereabouts to turn left over the water. So we are just about over the water. Actually, we are over the water. And you can see right here in the primary flight display, this is Catalina, I believe. I think that's Catalina Islands. So if we look outside, we can't see shit. And in fact, let's look outside. I'll pause TrackIR for a sec. Let's see if we can get some sexy views. Here, we'll let's do a little flyby. And oh wait, sorry. Okay. Here's our turn. You can see we're banked.
Los Angeles Center, generic November 03362 is at 6,000.
Woo! This is a game, chat. This is a game.
Generic November 03362 Los Angeles Center, continue to read into this plan.
If you are just joining us, the vibes are set to maximum. We're out here in our own... Look, our name is on the aircraft. We own it.
Center, generic November 3528 November is climbing through 6,800 feet for 9,000 feet.
Isn't this sick? I can't believe that this is a game.
132.85. Generic November 3528 November.
So there's our turn. We'll pop back into the aircraft to make sure that we did make the turn. So we're still trying to front our course. We just left Alba from Minnow. We'll turn TrackIR back on. Let me recenter myself here.
132.85 for generic tree.
Cool, so let's sync our heading. We are now heading roughly 127. It's the best $1 game I've ever played. Hey, this is the great preview. This is a great beta, okay? Put it that way. This is the greatest beta. And we are absolutely at the limit of our speed, as you can see right here. So we've got good power settings. We are still trying to find our course here. We're still trying to adjust a little bit. You see that the triangle, the autopilot is really fighting with itself to try to hit that line. In real life, I feel like it would hit that line very, very well. It would turn very, very smoothly. There we go. We got a little bit clear up. Hopefully the weather will clear up once we get over the area. That'd be cool. so we can see our hard work. Of course, there are minimums. I am absolutely down to do multiplayer. I'm going to save it. If you join my Discord, the link is in the description. Definitely plan to have multiplayer sessions with subs and followers. Definitely would like that. But right now, I'm going to rock by myself and just nail this for you guys. So I'm going to zoom out. Once we head towards Redden. Once we head towards Redden from Pacific is when... In between here is when we'll get set up for the ILS. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm absolutely down. Definitely, I want to do sub and follower or like subscriber Sundays or something like that. But right now, it's tucked in between the free game streams. But 100% yes, make sure you join the Discord because I'm definitely down to play multiplayer. I'm absolutely down. Love to play this with other people. And I cannot wait. Whoops. Come on, sync. There we go. I think I missed the radio call again. Okay, it's generic is what I keep hearing. What was I saying? I can't wait for the shared cockpits. Oh my lord, when we can all jump in together. Can you imagine? Right? Combine that with the multiplayer where like if we grab a jet and say like 15 people can smash into a group, we can all just chill in the same plane, right? It would be amazing. In Spasm, I don't know, like, let's talk about for the second. Like, right now, Simmers, I would, if they're trying to treat this as like a study level, hey, welcome to the Discord. Make sure when you're in the welcome channel, you read the rules and you check the green mark. That's how you'll see all the channels.
Generic tree 62 climb and maintain 8,000 feet.
So, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so if they think of this, if they're trying to think of this Flight Sim 2020 as a study level game or a study level program, like X-Plane currently is modded out to be, they're in the wrong lane. It's not gonna work out. It's not there yet. It will be there, especially along the 10-year development timeline that they've been teasing. Especially if this is out of the box V1, literally 1.7.4 is the current version, right? And the 10-year development timeline, it will be that, and it will be highly competitive, if not the sim. And I'm talking about better than Prepared, better than X-Plane, better than anything that you can cook up right now, provided that they stay on this track, right? If they fall off the map, easily X-Plane could come up with something that'll spank it. I know, right? They do get super touchy. This one's like right here, like this is an in-op button, right? It should say in-op. Let's get in close. Yeah, see it says in-op, like, who cares, okay? Look outside. Look at what we're doing. Relax. Enjoy it. But I do get a kick out of the people who just get super salty. Oh, this isn't study level. This is fake. Like, what's fake about it? I'm using TrackIR. I'm shaking my head. And I'm shaking my head in the aircraft right now. That's literally all I need. You know what I mean? Look. And the game is fine. And I'm streaming to YouTube and Twitch. Oh, did we just get a bump just now? Sorry, we just seriously had gotten a bump just now. I do anticipate a fair bit of bumps as we get over to this terrain and we get lower. So we are gonna let the autopilot do its thing right until we hit the final approach. Once we get to minimums, right, we're going to simulate an actual ILS approach down to minimums. The runway elevation, actually, let's take a look here. Runway for 24 right, elevation is 477. Where the heck are the minimums? ILS 24 right, the minimums is 675 feet and a half. We're going to call it 700 feet. So, what we can do is to start to set ourselves up, right? Because we're quickly approaching passive, and I want to be... I do want to be set up, roughly speaking. We're going to turn... Up. There we go. I'm gonna call it 700 feet. There we go. Enter. We'll turn that on. And we do have a 70 knot rotation or reference speed, so we'll turn that on as well. And we could use the timer, but I'm not that good, chat. Let's keep it real. Okay, so our references are on. So we need to hit 70 over the runway, basically, and we have our minimum set. We are 2.5 away from passive, and I said in between passive and redding is where I want to get set up. So we're going to sync our heading bud out of compulsion. We'll check our speed. We're doing good, 165 true airspeed. We're like at the limit of our performance. We're like, we really need to like, if we hit any bumps, we really can't be this fast. So I'm going to dial back the power just a smidge. We're holding here at 9,000 altitude hold, right? The autopilot is engaged and we're using the GPS as a navigation. And I'll show you the trick to switch from GPS to the VO to the nav, right? This is not the same as this. This is that right now. Or this, I should say, is that. Anywho. So we are at passive heading towards Reading and 27 nautical miles. So let's go ahead and start to get the ILS configured, right? So the localizer for the runway that we're at Miramar is 111.15 and the approach course is 243. So those numbers we need to log in the back of our head. We also have ATIS and we have our approach control or frequencies here, right? 123.2, the tower is 135.2, ground control is 128.6, and we don't need to really worry about clearance delivery. Center is 291.7. So with the 111.15, we're going to put that in our nav1 radio here. So this is our standby frequency, and that's what's currently engaged. So we are going to tune to the 111. Here's 111. Decimal 111.15. We're gonna actually activate that. Oh, I fucked up. Hold on one second. No. There we go. We'll activate that. So now it's in the active. We have no data because we're still very, very far away from the runway. So this is when we'll know when things start to come alive. It'll say it'll give you the code of the airport, which is India, or the localizer, excuse me, which is India November Kilo X-ray, and that'll show up right here. But what we can do as well, right, is something that we're curious about. Something that we are curious about is how far we are away from the ground, right? Not from just the VOR, but away from the actual ground in the airport. And that actually has a frequency. So if we go back into Sky Vector, you'll notice that, let's find Miramar in our plan, right? We're heading to here. At Miramar, right, there's also a VOR. And it says 109.60. That's the run. That's the airport right there. I think we can plug this in for GOS for ADF DME, but I don't know how to do that. So we're going to use this frequency, 109.6, right here. So we are going to toggle to nav2, which we already did, right? And you can tell which one is active. So we're going to put in 109.60. We'll activate that. So Oh, and the thing that you realize too is that it did pick up the airport because we're close enough, but it did not pick up. Huh, interesting. Very, very interesting. It picked up the ILS VOR, but not the, but it did pick up the airport. I think because we need to be on this side, right? The ILS is like somewhere over here, or pointing this way, versus somewhere over here. Maybe, I don't know. Anywho, if we toggle over to PFD and we go to bearing 2, and we switch from nav 1 to nav 2 by pressing bearing 2, we should get it a distance. Huh. So there's something not right here. Maybe we're too far. But anywho, so we're now tuned to both frequencies, and we have the approach plate in our lap. We know we need to be at 6,900. No, I already through to the 213 part of the approach. I tuned out for a minute. No. I'm actually just setting up the ILS, so I just set up the frequency, and there we go. We've got the ILS for the first time. That's India November Kilo X-ray, right? So we've got both that are tuned in because we're close enough to the airport. Let's see if we can pick up. So we've got GPS. And in fact, like I said, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the GPS over here. And I'm going to throw nav 2. Excuse me, nav 1. Here. So we do have information. So we've got both, right? We do have it. And then we do have our GPS. We do have our minimum set. We'll hit our course. Oh, sorry. I did miss a radio call. Thank you. Descend to 8,000.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet, Sky 1.
Let's reduce the power. Just gonna kill the throttle to stop the overspeed. So 8,000 is our first altitude.
Los Angeles Center, generic November 30471 is at 9,100 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
So we're starting our descent.
Generic November 30471 Los Angeles Center, continue.
This is our final fix before we start our approach. Let's put some power back in here. We're in the soup. We're below the clouds now. Okay, so there's 8,000. Speeding back up. And ideally, you want to keep the same speed. But because I was blowing things, explaining the ILS approach, I blew my my speed and altitude and an altitude call. So typically you want to keep a sterile environment, right? You don't want to stream to the masses and talk about what you're going to do, but you do need to be able to confidently talk through it. So still my bad. I still need to perform better. We're going to get back up to speed.
Sky 1 contact SoCal approach on 132.2.
123.2 for Sky 1.
132.2 Sky 1.
Let's tune in.
SoCal approach, Sky 1, 8,000 feet.
Do you have a new altimeter for me? Nope, you do not. So, as you can see, we are in the soup. We can't see anything still. We are just about to hit our final point in our guidance before we turn left towards JLI. And once we wrap to the right towards our JLI, we can activate the VOI. And I'll show you a trick again once we head down there. And Vajilka, buy Flight Simulator, bro. Let's play. Let's play. Still doing 155 over the ground, so I'm happy with it. Power settings are at 60. Actually, I need to make it to 60. Really wish I had aircon right now, to be honest. It's gorgeous. You can kind of see the sun poking through. That's crazy.
Miramar Tower on 135.2.
5 nautical miles before we start our turn.
Maintain present heading and altitude.
Let's sync our heading out of compulsion.
5.2 generic tree 62.
Outside air temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. That's either good or bad. By the way, I do expect us to lose the India November Kilo X-ray. For some reason, we lose it over. Hey, he's like, I'm now buying it. I am now downloading it. Make sure you have a good hard drive and a good setup. And Saza, make sure you get it too so we can play. So, if you are just joining us, I know I keep repeating us, but it's people pop in and out, and I try to get those viewers so we can have a stream. So, we are out of Van Nuys, heading towards Miramar. As you can see, we are at our last fix before we try to shoot the ILS 24 right into Miramar. We're going to make a left turn, head down for a bit, probably about another 20 minutes, and then we'll make a right turn towards JLI. We'll intercept at 213, head down to Ekver, make a right turn to 243, and then we'll activate some stuff, and we'll let the plane fly itself in. And we will take over. We will disconnect the auto throttle at minimums. Here's our turn towards JLI. I'm expecting the tower to tell me nothing for the moment, but I'm expecting my cleared to be cleared to the JLI approach. And we're already configured. So we've got 111.15, and we also have the airport VOR for nav1 and nav2.
4 miles west. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 24 right approach via Juliet Lima India transition. Clear to Juliet Lima India.
Clear to the JLI, expecting ILS 24 right approach via JLI for Sky
Maintain
1.
present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway
Cool, so we'll hold at 8,000. I like our speed for now, so we can continue to talk through it. Let's sync up our heading.
SoCal approach landmark 2225.
Now remember, chat, we're in the soup. I can't look at the ground, right? I have to make sure that this is right, so bear with me. Hopefully everything's working out. You can also see where the bearings are for everything, right? So we've got 35 miles. We're going to head there in about 20 minutes before we start our turn. Let's sync our heading. We're going to get a descent to our first altitude, which I'm going to pull it up one more time, chat. So we are now we're literally over this sign, Miramar, right? As you can see right here. We're going to head this way towards Julian, make a right turn, head over Julian, and head in a course of 212 or 213, depending on heading, to Ekvar. Once we get to Rhino, we're going to make another right turn to 243, and we'll shoot that straight in at a 3-degree glide slope. So we're already at 8,000 or above, right? So we're going to hit we're probably going to hit JLI at 6,900, right? And we're going to take a 3-degree glide slope all the way into the runway. Do I have Twitch? Yes, I am live on Twitch right now. Twitch.tv/SkyCommand. I am live on YouTube and Twitch, so if you like either or, you can check me out on both. We're still trying to find that. We're still trying to find that perfect line I can see. We are in the soup now. I can't look outside for much visual references, so we really have to be in it. But that doesn't mean I can't wish you a happy good day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn bearing 2 over to the runway to nav 2. We have no data yet. We're going to punch in just a smidge here. Check our speed. I like our speed. I like our power settings. I like our altitude. We've got altimeter. We've got our minimum set, and we're going to sync our heading out of compulsion. Now, the thing about ILS, right, or think about instrument flight rules, IFR flights, right, is because you can't see outside, right, you have to stay in the primary flight display and your planet and your MFDs, right? You have to constantly be aware of where you are, where you're going, right, how far away you are, what's your heading, what's your altitude, the altimeter, any minimums that you're aware of, your speed, right? your indicated airspeed, right, which is your gauge, and as well as your true airspeed, as well as any wind. Again, we're getting a lot of tailwind here. It's pushing us in this direction to 270 at 8 knots. So we lost our data here for some reason for N2. I wonder why this is.
Tower on 135.2 landmark 2225.
Huh. Anywho, so we are just about to cruise. We've got another 20 minutes before we start our ILS. Technically, this is our ILS approach, right? Or this is our arrival. We're arriving at the airport via the JLI and transitioning to the approach via the JLI marker or VOR. And I'm getting the terminologies wrong, but I'm trying to say that we're approaching the airport using this fix. Using this approach fix, and then we're shooting the ILS. Yes. Cool. So, let's get ahead of some things, right? I'm going to turn my navigation lights on. I'm going to turn my landing lights on. I'm going to leave my taxi lights off for now. But that's all I've got left. My strobe, my navs, my beacon, and my landing lights are on. My ignitions is switched to both. Masters and avionics are on. I like our altitude. I like our speed. I like our heading. We're tuned in. 26.9 nautical miles to go. Ground speed 164. You love to see it. It's so funny how these don't match. Oh, true airspeed, and that's ground speed. I'm a bug. That's why they don't match. So just like the magenta line is a true course, the ground speed is your true. If you were to make that same mark and measure how fast that was going, that would be how fast we're going. Cool, so we're 25 nautical miles. I'm going to pause TrackIR right here for a quick second. Let's take a look outside. I wonder what we can see. You can kind of make out a little bit of the ground right there. You can kind of see a little something. I can't tell you what it is or where we are. But you see some. But there we go. There's Sky C doing his first IFR flight in the SR-22. This plane is the one that I really want to jump in real life. If I can take an introductory flight, it would be this one right here. Let's go ahead and kill ATC. They're not going to bug us until we make our turn. But look, chat. Look. There. There's definitely something below us. Hey, listen. A great pilot friend of me told a friend of mine told me, you know, takeoffs are optional. Landings are very much mandatory. And I think there's something to that. But yeah, you can kind of see. But this is why this is an IFR flight. Because if normally we'd need to fly so low to the ground to see everything, like we were doing in the bushcraft, right? But because of all the weather, we have to rely on our instruments. We have to rely on the information provided to us and make intelligent decisions. So, and this is why I also wanted to practice it so much before I brought it to the stream. I wanted to make sure that I could at least shoot this ILS for you guys before landing all over the world and jumping into jets. It's one of the crucial things that you need to learn before you really fly any jets or anything serious. If not, you're just going to have to fly low to the ground all the time. VFR flight means you can't fly through any clouds whatsoever. And IFR means instrument flight rules, right? So we have to use our instruments to participate by the flight rules. This is why I love flying so much, because you have to know what you're doing. You have to know this. You have to know your aircraft. You have to stay ahead of it. Sorry, just checking work emails as well. Bajoka, thank you so much for the sub too, if I didn't say it. Let me pause TrackIR so you guys can see what the hell's going on. So we're still 18 nautical miles, and do not do this, chat. Do not jump on your phone while you're about to shoot an ILS approach. Do not. We're streaming. This is a game, right? We are doing something very technically complex and very serious, right? But this is a stream. I'm also, I can like There, look, we just broke the immersion, right? We just broke the immersion. But just remember that. That's why I'm able to be on my phone and check my messages and make sure everything is good. Hey, make sure. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in, Everett. Whoever you may be, I have a feeling you may be incredibly important to me in my life, but I might just be assuming. I'm gonna increase the power just a touch. I still like my. You know what? No. Let's not. Let's turn TrackIR back on though. Let's reset. Let me get comfortable really quick. Damn it, I can't drink my wine. But yeah, there's some... Oh, I missed another radio call. Let's contact Los Angeles Center at 128.15. I wish I could turn it up a little higher. Like, it's a little quiet in my ears. But again, I've got to be listening. I've got to be listening. You can't blow radio calls, especially in the weather like this. They could have something very important. Like, hey, discontinue this approach. We've got some stuff that just happened, and I'm out here talking, you know, sipping wine. Let's go into our instruments, though.
Generic 1-3 Golf, you are 400 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 15.
I can't wait for them to fix that bug, too.
Generic 010, descend and maintain 5,800 feet. Generic 21 kilo, please expedite your descent to 4,400 feet. Generic 21.
So somewhere over the turn, I expect a descent down to flight level 069er. Giggity.
12 o'clock, 3 miles at 8,600 feet, generic. Report them in sight. Generic 21 kilo, traffic in sight.
Seriously, Golf 21 Kilo is out here just wrecking life. They need to fix ATC. He is not making people happy right now. Okay, so we can start to see some things in the air. Only if he violates Oh! You might be right, Spasm. You might be right. We are going over a military base. All right, let me get comfortable again.
Going to 132.2, generic 21 kilo.
So there we go. We're mostly out of the soup.
Maintain 5,800 feet, generic.
Looks like we'll be able to cancel IFR in the air, which is what you would do, right? If you could see the runway, you can cancel your IFR, and then you can just shoot the visual. But that is not what we're going to do here. We're going to pretend that this weather exists all the way down to 700 feet, which could very well happen in the real world. You could be out there, and the minimums, that's why it's called a minimum. It's like, that's how low you'll need to be before you see anything that even resembles a runway.
Descend and maintain 5,200 feet, generic 010.
7 nautical miles here. We're starting to get a little bit of those bumps here that we've experienced, right? A little bit of those bumps, so I'm just gonna slow us down just a touch. Yeah, we're a little bumpy here, so I'm just gonna bring us down. Try to bring us down to about 50% on the power setting.
Generic 010, descend and maintain 5,800 feet.
Just give us lots of headroom here. There you go. There's land again. How long has it been since we've seen land? Spasm, right? I hope they do shoot him down, though. Let's talk about it, if they do. Vajilka, hope you're tuning in on Twitch, too. Got both browsers up. And if you guys are tuning in, we are just about to make our turn to the Julian fix.
Generic 010.
And we will head to 212 degrees until we hit to Ekver and then Rhino. Let's sync our heading. Then we'll shoot the ILS for 24 right.
6,400 feet, generic 010.
And this is why, right? This is why, like, if
Generic 010 descend and maintain 5,000.
we were trying to land visually and like the weather was bad and we're trying to navigate through all these mountains and hills and stuff, like, it would be awful. It would be very scary, and I wouldn't be doing it, but anywho. Here we are. We're about to turn around. The runway is like off to our right and back behind us, like back over there, like in the area that we can't see. It's like ish here. There's Point Loma. So we're officially under the soup. We've made our VFR flight. We can cancel IFR right here if we wanted to and turn around and enter the pattern and all that, but nah. We're gonna pretend that the weather is this bad all the way down.
Generic 010 descend and maintain 6,300 feet.
Just trying to manage my power settings. Don't want to go below 130 there.
Descend and maintain 6,300 feet. Generic 010.
So we are
010 descend and maintain 5,700 feet. Sky 1, have the generic in sight.
I saw him back there.
Descend and maintain 5,700 feet. Generic 010.
There's traffic. Cool. So once we start our turn here, I'm going to go relatively sterile and chat. If anyone jumps in and wonders what we're doing, please help me keep them up to date. I'll try to talk through it. Here's our turn. Runway being back over there. Wow, that's so pretty over there.
Generic 010 descend and maintain 6,300 feet.
We're going to prep and be ahead, right? We're going to prep for 6,900. So you got to stay ahead of the aircraft, right? We know we're gonna get down to lower from Julian to Ekford.
Maintain 6,300 feet. Generic 010. Generic 010 descend and maintain 5,700 feet.
It's a very beautiful body of water. Did they? I wonder if
Maintain 5,700 feet. Generic
I wonder if they improved the maps because my frame rates are a little bit lower than I
010 descend and maintain 5,000
remember.
feet. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Generic 010.
Cool. So did we smooth out?
Generic 010 descend and maintain 5,600.
It's a little bumpy. I'm gonna wait for it to smooth out just a little bit before I increase the speed again. Who is this generic guy? Generic 010.
Maintain 5,600 feet. Generic 010. Generic 010 descend and maintain 6,200 feet. Sky 1 descend and maintain 6,900 feet.
There's our call. Descend to 6,900 feet for Sky 1.
Descend and maintain 6,200 feet. Generic 010. Generic 010 descend and maintain 5,300 feet.
Let's make sure we don't overspeed.
Descend and maintain 5,000.
There's our turn still.
010.
So once we hit about 213, I'm gonna throw her into heading mode, and then we'll manually. Actually, we'll just let. Yeah, they're going back up. They're descend to a higher altitude. It's so weird. I think it's an ATC bug. We're about to overspeed. I mean, I guess we don't really need to dive that deeply either. We'll keep it for about 500 here. Okay, 100 to go. Bring our power settings back. And it's definitely smoothed out, so we'll speed up just a touch.
Expedite your descent to 5,300 feet. Generic 6-2 Foxtrot descend and maintain.
So we're going to keep going with the GPS here.
Generic 010 descend and maintain 4,700 feet. Descend and maintain 16,000 feet.
Sync our
Generic 6-2
heading here.
Foxtrot.
Another turn. You'll see that we're actually not even close to being done with our turn.
Descend and maintain 9,000
It's a very big arc.
feet. Expect vectors visual runway 24 approach. Descend and maintain 4,700 feet. Generic 010. Generic 010 descend and maintain 4,400 feet.
Cool. So we're just about to make another turn here in a little bit. Right, runway's off into this direction, or more like somewhere over here, or over here. See what I mean? This is why we're shooting an ILS. Look at this. How the hell we're gonna find a runway here? Oh, there it is. Maybe. I don't think so. Cool. Let me zoom out just a touch. Still very bumpy. Very, very bumpy turn. So we'll keep this speed for now. And you notice that we did lose the ILS, right? We lost the VOR. We're gonna wait for that to pop in.
125 landmark tree 659er.
So we're already at 690 according to the approach plate, so we're good.
4,400 feet.
So we just gotta wait for this localizer to be captured, which will happen between Ekver and Rhino, I think. We'll watch for it to see what happens. So wait for it to find the slope here, or find the not the glide path, but it'll find the line.
Going to 125.5 landmark.
So we're trying to find that 213 course, the 212 course, as you can see right here. We're trying to negotiate it between the heading. All right. So
Generic 010, please expedite your descent.
I'm gonna sync our heading,
400 feet.
turn this to heading mode.
Generic 010, contact.
There you go.
Approach on 132.2.
And I'm looking for a course of 212 or 213 or so.
for generic 010. Landmark 9er19er, you are 300 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 290.
It's contact approach.
Climb and maintain 6,900 feet skyway.
I am at 6,900. What the hell?
Descend and maintain flight level 290, landmark 9er19er.
That was weird. All right, so we're waiting for the VOR to capture. And meanwhile, we're going to go back, right? So we're in heading mode, right? According to the autopilot. What we're going to do, cheekily, is change the CDI to nav1. Once it hits the, there's no data, right, for either. We lost either. But once it does capture the VOR, we'll be able to change that and hit the approach mode, which it did capture. There we go. So because it's captured, we're going to see that moving over. We're actually going to keep this heading right now, but what we can do is hit approach mode. And now that we've activated approach, we're going to wait for this magenta line to come into view, right, and wait for the localizer to capture. So once the localizer captures, you'll notice that the heading disappears. So we still need to be careful to make sure to make this turn if the localizer isn't captured. But between ECVR and Rhino, it should capture and change from heading mode to localizer mode, and that's it. The ILS is captured. except for the altitude part. So that's the direction. Now we need to fix altitude. So you'll see that the autopilot is holding it out at 6,900 feet. What you do see is this white GS. This white GS means glide slope. So once the localizer turns green, we're also going to capture something called the glide slope. And that shows up here. That's what I kept misreferring to. That's going to show up as a magenta, as a bar like this on this side. It's going to be green. And we're going to follow, and once the dot kind of comes down to the middle and these arrows right here, the plane is just going to start to descend by itself. And all we have to do is manage power settings that we're at a constant speed. And we're actually very, very bumpy right now. You can see how bumpy it is. Look how bumpy it is on the way in. We're you know, we'd have the seatbelt sign on and people would be seated for this. Our seatbelts would be strapped and we wouldn't be talking through much of this. So that's the approach.
Sky 1 descend and maintain 4,700 feet.
4,700 feet for Sky 1.
Descend and maintain 4,700 feet, Sky 1.
Oops. So VS 500. What was it? 4,700? 4,700.
Los Angeles Center, Airbus November 3526 Mike, flight level 280. Airbus November 3526 Mike, Los Angeles Center, continue as planned. Sky 1 contact SoCal approach on 132.2.
132.2 for Sky 1.
Going to 132.2, Sky 1.
Airbus 26 Mike, contact Los Angeles Center on 134.575. Landmark 9er, you are 400 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level.
It's over to 132.2. SoCal approach.
Sky 1 is out of 6,600 feet for 4,700 feet.
Sky 1 SoCal approach, continue to Reno as planned.
No.
Altimeter 29.902.
So there's the glide slope that we captured there. Or, you know, we're almost about to. Let's decrease. Let's go down a little further here.
Generic 010, please expedite your descent to 4,400 feet.
So the localizer is captured, so it's trying to intercept the localizer, right? So heading mode is no longer a thing. So it's looking to capture the glide slope. We're trying to get to 4,700 before we get to Rhino. Let's just quickly check Rhino where we need to be.
You are 14 miles northeast of Miramar. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact Miramar Tower on 135.2.
Rhino, we need to be at 4,700. So there's our turn.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 135.2, generic 010.
Left fuel is low. It's good to know. Almost oversped, that's fine. So there's the runway straight ahead there.
Sky 1 descend and maintain 3,800 feet.
3,800 feet for Sky 1.
Descend and maintain 3,800 feet, Sky 1.
Sky 1 traffic is 1 o'clock, 4 miles at 4,400 feet generic. Report them in sight.
I don't see him.
Sky 1 don't have generic in sight.
Don't bother knocking. That's right. So we're waiting to intercept the glide slope here. So we've got the localizer, right? There's the runway straight ahead. Still trying to negotiate. We're going to zoom in here. We're starting to descend. There's the glide slope. Let's slow down. We're good. Kill the throttle now that we're descending. Make sure we're good here.
Sky 1 traffic not in sight.
We're going to slow down to our approach speed of 170, or excuse me, 110 to dump some flaps, right? And then we'll hit 70 once we get over. So let's do our final checks here. Localizer is activated. We're still using the autopilot, and we've got the glide slope captured, right? That's evidenced by the green bar right here. There's the dot. There's our green arrow, right? We're heading straight GPS. We're low on fuel, but we can literally land like a crater. So we're going to contact tower 135.2 for Sky 1.
Tower on 135.2 Sky 1. Miramar Tower Sky 112 miles east inbound ILS runway
Okay,
24
let's go
right
flaps
approach.
1.
Sky 1 Miramar Tower. Cleared ILS runway 24 right approach. Altimeter
Let's get some power going.
2.9 to wind 258 at 14.
God, I wish I had my throttle. Cool, so we are all configured. Let's do our final checks here. We've got everything on. We're low on fuel. Taxi lights are coming on. All of our lights. Got our glide slope captured. We're approaching at about 100, which is fine. Localizer. We can go ahead and set our missed approach, which is... climb to 1500.
Sky 1, did you copy?
I did not copy. Oh, I did. I hit the
Cleared
button.
ILS runway 24 right approach Sky 1.
See what the weather is while we're here. We could have tuned into that before.
Montgomery Airport Information Uniform 2300 Zulu. Wind 258 at 14. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, ceiling 2,100 feet overcast. Temperature.
Good glide slope, good approach speed.
2.13. Altimeter 29.902. Visual
Very
runway
turbulent.
28 right and visual runway 28 left in use. Landing and departing runway 28 right and runway 28 left. IFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have uniform.
We could have used COM 2 for that too, but I'm not that good. Oh, I guess you could do it this way. That makes sense. Cool. We're shooting the ILS, guys, so everything is fully configured. Got a good approach speed. Once we get about, I would say, I don't know, about 2 nautical miles or so, we'll be fully configured for landing. Very, very bumpy day. We'd be throwing up our lunch, that's for sure. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a jet? Is that another plane right there that's also shooting an... Yo! Yo, chat! That's another plane right there. Luckily, they're going to 24 left. That is another plane. Right? Could you imagine if that was crust? But I think this definitively proves it. What is it? Okay, it's just a regular aircraft. I thought it was a jet, like a military jet. Could you imagine? All right. We're just slowly crawling back to our plane here. So we're shooting the ILS. We're on the glide slope. We're still quite a ways out. Clearly underneath most of the weather, but it's fine. A little hazy down there by the runway, though. Cool. So let's go ahead and turn TrackIR back on.
Cleared to land runway 24 right.
Cleared to land 24 right for Sky 1.
Caution the generic landing runway 24 left.
I've got him.
Cleared to land runway 24 right, Sky 1.
So he just gave me a call out. We will cancel IFR in a moment. Actually, no, we can cancel IFR right now.
Miramar Tower Sky 1 would like to
So
cancel
no one comes
IFR.
in for us, right? We can still shoot the ILS. We can cancel IFR rules, though.
Maintain VFR. You are still cleared to land runway 24 right.
I wonder why there's no DME or like a distance here. So we are still shooting the ILS. We've got 2 reds, 2 greens. Let's go ahead and get her fully configured here. Slow down just a touch. Flaps full. We're gonna aim for 70. Let's go ref plus 10 or plus 5. Wish me luck, chat. This has been a great IFR flight. Hope you've been absolutely vibing with me.
500. 500.
Just reset right here. And that is minimums. No, it's not minimums. Minimums is 700. We'll take the, oh. Rod stall. Managing power. Just managing power. Good enough for me right now, well, based on the prevalent winds and it just being crazy speed-wise. We'll just land a little fast. And we are 100 away from minimums. I see the runway. We are going to land. And I will disconnect autopilot at 700 feet exactly. And goodbye, autopilot.
Sky 1 go around.
No, why do you keep saying that? Spent all this effort. We're just gonna ignore that because ATC is bugging out.
Sky 1 acknowledge last transmission.
Nope, ignoring. Don't be ridiculous. And that's bad form, but I had no reason. There's literally no reason to go around. There's sync a little bit. Come on.
Sky 1 acknowledge last transmission.
Okay. We're down.
Generic 010 turn next taxiway.
Going around Sky 1. Miramar Tower Sky 1 cancel landing intention.
All right.
Sky 1, your cancellation is received.
We're down. Contact ground. Taxi to parking.
Miramar ground Sky 1 taxi to parking.
Sky 1 taxi to general aviation parking.
And
using
that's how you do an IFR flight
taxiway 24
versus
right.
minus ATC randomly shitting on you.
Taxiing to
What the hell
general
was that about?
aviation
Go around when
parking
I'm
by
literally over
taxiway
the
cross
threshold? I
runway
could, but
24 right,
why?
Bravo Delta Sky 1.
I'll teach you guys about the back course button later. Cool. So we're here in Miramar. We made it. First VFR flight in the bag. They really have me going around? Okay, let's go around. course I'm drifting.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo cross runway 24 right Bravo Delta generic 010.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. We made it though. Hey, you made it back? Nice. We just landed. ATC randomly told me to go around for whatever reason. And I think that was an ATC bug. That's the second time that's happened to me on stream. I'm very curious. I don't know how to check fuel, but I just want to see what fuel looks like. We have 2 gallons left in the left fuel and a full 50% in the right one. I'm sure they have some sort of balancing settings or something or other. Cool. Just cruising along to parking here. My poor frame rates. Can't wait to get to 3090. Seriously? Can't wait to push this to max settings. All right, we are here. Cool. Welcome to Miramar, folks. We're gonna go ahead and kill our avionics, turn the engine off, and that is how you do a flight. Turn off all the master battery stuff, and I'm gonna pause the music, something I like to do at the end of these flights. Thank you guys, welcome to Miramar, really appreciate it. I'm gonna pause TrackIR, and one thing I like to do is just listen to the silence once you make it outside. Or just listen to the ambient noise, I should say. Sounds like there's an airport happening. Is that not incredible? Anywho, that's the flight, folks. Welcome to Miramar. Here we are. Told you guys we'd make it via IFR. I'm alive. We did it. It's all because of you guys. Hey. Oh, sorry. I was scared for my life. It's also poor taste in jokes. Cool. So we are gonna go get on out of here. We gonna go and get out of here. Thank you so much to my new followers. We will be here tomorrow doing some more IFR flying. Let me know in the comments, in the chats, if you watch this, where should we go next? We've got Fuerteventura to Liverpool coming up, assuming I can get plates. I think I might save that. I might save that for when I can get when I'm comfortable in the Citation jet. But hey, we made it here. We made it here. Where should we go? Where should we go? In fact, I kind of want to just go back to just like, yes. But yeah, this has been awesome. We'll be doing more flights like this, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it so much. My name is Sky Command, and I will be here streaming every day on YouTube and on Twitch at 3:30, or at least as close to it, Pacific Standard Time. You guys are amazing. What are some of the local sites of Miramar? I don't know. I've never been to the military base before, but this is San Diego, so go to Old Town and get you some dope tortillas and probably the most delicious Mexican food you can find in the world. But yeah, I'm gonna go and get on out of here, y'all. Y'all have been amazing. We will see you next time. Until then, enjoy the song. Peace out. Have a good night.